those off at the back there. Hi Alex, how you doing? Oh, that's cool. To be fair, this build shouldn't take too long tonight. It's a small 60%, so I'm not expecting it to take the normal 2 or 3 hours that it does. Decided to go with a bit of different music today. Instead of going for lo-fi, I've gone for a bit of slow jazz. So this is the little PCB. Oh, hey Jordan, how you doing? Yeah, the music's a little bit more lively than it normally is. So. You having a good Friday, both of you, so far? Oh, good to hear, John. Just doing a little bit of housekeeping on this board before the stream properly starts. I haven't fully finished everything that I needed to be doing, so we'll have a bit of that on the stream as well. So Jordan says, mail came in today. What did you get? What did you get? Alex says, glad it's the weekend. I think everybody's glad that it is the weekend. day it's not been too bad actually. Been quite busy, been sorting work stuff out as well as getting this board desoldered for the stream this evening. Yo Stocks, how's it going? Say, is my voice low? When you say is my voice low, are you meaning I've got a low voice, low sexy voice, or it's just not loud enough? Let me know. Thought I'd try a little bit of jazz out tonight, Stocks. But when I get a sub button, if I get some ungodly amount of bits, I will obviously have to shave it into a handlebar moustache. Just in case it is muted. Okay. Let me just turn the music down a little bit then. I only want it as a little bit of background music. In fact, I'm just going to turn my phone onto silent mode as well. Just want to get back in the pocket now. Just let me know if the music is still too loud. I can always have a fiddle about with it. I'm going to put this out of the way for the minute. I don't need them for a little while. How's your day been though, Stocks? Had a good day so far? Or is it one of those thank God it's Friday moments? So oh, another little mascot. Why do they keep coming up here? Managed to finish early, that's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty nice. What's the weather like up in Scotland at the moment? Rum o'clock. Yeah. Nice bit of Captain Morgan spiced rum. Can't say no to that. So, for this evening's build, I've got a little 60% here. And so, Taro, guy on the MK UK Discord, dropped me a note and said that what he wanted to do was he wanted to take the Aliaz that were in this build and he wanted me to desolder them out. He then wanted me to spring swap them, so I've gone through most of them so far, not all of them, and I've spring swapped them with 78 gram 78 gram sprit springs. I've also gone and lubed the housings. I find that you don't want to over lube these Aliaz, they lose quite a lot of tactility if you lube all the portions of it. So generally for these I just lube the bottom housing and the sliders, and it smooths them out quite nicely. So I've gone through most of them. So we've got a little tub of them here, lovely little pink switches. So these are the Aliaz, and so these have got 78 gram sprit springs inside of them, and they're nicely nicely tactile. Not too much. They're probably on the same realms as a clear, something like that, but much smoother. So stock says severe gales and it's pissing it down. Yeah, it's been like that today as well. It's been like that today down here. I won't be playing that, seeing as they're going to be skexiting soon, I guess. So for the lube for these, I found that the best lube was a bit of Tribosys 106. It's a solid lube, and I've lubed the springs in 106, and I've also done the rails and the bottom housings in 106 as well. Quite nice afterwards. Aliaz meat. We don't want to be losing all that whiskey. That's my main concern. We're going to lose the whiskey reserves. So what I've got to do is, I didn't manage to get around to finishing them all. So there is some of the Aliaz that aren't finished yet, and so I'm going to put these together fairly quickly. They still need, the bottom housing still need lubing, and the 78 gram springs are just already bag lubed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this PCB out of the way for the time being. Don't need it in line of fire, so I'll put it just behind me here on the pile of this slowly growing pile of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour these out. It's far easier than dragging them out of here. Just separate them off a little bit as well. Matt, if I sent some hot fire switches to you, could you lube them? Yeah, that's something that I am able to do. So I've got a shipment of new lubes coming in next week. So I've bought some. What have I bought? I bought some Tribosys 103, 104, 205. I've got some Tribosys 3204 and 3203 coming, I think. And I've also got the 106 here, and I've got a little. I mean, when I mean a little bit, like we're talking the remnants of it. It's still good to use. I'll probably end up mixing the remainder of this with some 106 or something like that. Yeah, something that I can do for you. But depending on what the switches are, really. If you're just going to send me some clickies, I'm going to send them back. Oh wait, let me guess. Let me guess what the hot fire switches are going to be. The phase. I was gonna say that you were gonna send me a bunch of GAT yellows, but okey-dokes. Yeah, I can certainly lube some phase switches for you. I haven't really done an awful lot of research on what would be good lube for they're a GAT or on linear, aren't they? So I don't know what the best lube for them would be, but I'm assuming that 205 grade 0 would probably be the best stuff. It normally is for linears, or at least I found it to be. So, just show you what I'm going to be doing. So, if I bring it in a little bit closer, I'm trying to desperately not knock the lube over again. So the bits that we're going to be lubing are this bit here, this bit here, this bit here and the well on the bottom. Those are the bits that we're going to lube up here. And it's just a nice small coating of lube across them, just so that they're a little smoother than normal. And Aliaz definitely feel better with a little bit of lube on them. So I'm just going to get some more for each one. Only need a very little bit on the end of the brush. But so these the phase switches, they're the green ones, aren't they? The custom coloured ones. Matcha green, milky top linears. Ooh. So what differentiates them from the normal Gateron linears? Is there any actual build difference, or is it just a colour swap? I don't know if the milky top uses a slightly different plastic or something like that. Oh, nothing really. Okay. Well, if it's just a Gateron linear, pretty much, then should have no problem with adding a little bit of lube and making it smoother. I will admit though that Gateron do make some very smooth switches. They're linears at the very least. Their tactiles less so. But if they're using the same spring supplier as that Zeal uses, I know that Zeal uses Gateron springs in his. I'd highly suggest swapping the springs out. I remember a time where everybody hated milky Gaterons. Yes, I do. Yes. I think it was around the time that Aristotles were a big thing. You could pick, I remember looking on Taobao and specifically looking around to try and not buy the milky Gaterons, and they were cheaper at the time. Interesting to see how times have changed. Gold springs though, I guess that's a bit different. So I can only hope that they aren't using the same gold springs as Zeal. But if you want to try them and you find that they ping a little bit, I can always. I've got a small stock of springs here that I can swap to, or if they don't match up with the weight that you want anyway, I can always swap to them, swap to a different weight. Drop me a message on Discord, and we can have a chat about it when they're for what you want to do with them. Got one of the Otomu grey linear switches. They're lovely. Again, I haven't seen these Otomu grey linears. Very smooth. I certainly hope so. My next switch acquisition is probably going to be some of the Novel Keys cream switches. Interested to see how they feel. So they're made bit of a sky see-through bottom and a silent grey stem. Ooh. I am possibly going to be for a build for a couple of weeks' time. One of the members of the community, Dan, he's going to be sending me his board, and he's still on the fence on what he's going to do, but it could likely be the Atemu Sky silent switches that he's thinking of going for, and so I'll give them a nice lubing up and building it with that. I have creams. They're pretty good. I think they'd be better broken in though. Okay. Yeah, a concept that I came up with a number of years ago. Never really moved forward with it. Was a device or machine called, which I would just have called the actuator, and it is just a machine that sits there for 24 hours or however long you want, and just actuates switches. You'd be doing them in 100 by 100 square or something like that to make it cost effective, but have it just sat there actuating switches and wearing them in. And the idea was at the time to sell graded switches, but nothing really came of that idea. It would be cool to be able to actually go ahead and do it, but too many things on the plate at once, you know. Yeah, I got some Skies too, silent lubed with see-through tops. They're really nice looking switches, to be fair. He also did the Heisenberg ones, didn't he? The ones with, was it blue tops, or? They look incredible either way. Trying to get these out of the way so I don't knock them on the floor. I have got a another stream tomorrow, normal time. It's just that the client for this one has given me 2 boards, and I don't want to keep him hanging around waiting for boards, as he's going to be coming to collect them. So I thought best idea was to get both of the boards done one after another. So tomorrow we are going to be building a 75% with pale blues. That's box pale blues, that is. So that should be a fun little stream. Came and dropped off all of the boards a couple of days ago now, and they're really nice looking boards. This PVD brass plate that he's brought along is beautiful. Very shiny. When he said that he'd bought a brass plate from AliExpress, I was expecting a cheap thin little brass plate, but this thing is pretty hefty. Okay. That's all of the lube that we're going to need for the switches. So I just need my little tweezers. Next week I've got a nice build coming up, as long as the the parts will obviously turn up. Got another build for a previous client, and it's going to be a COD 67. It's this beautiful 67 key. 60, I think it's a 65%. I believe that's how they sell it. This beautiful 65%, and he's getting that sent over, and we've got some cherry vintage blacks coming. Got some switch film now, switch film coming with that as well, and we're going to be building that up, and that's going to be an excellent looking board. So I have some I have some non-box pale blues for my SKB 75. Ooh. Non-box pale blues. So they're the cherry ones, are they? Like cherry blues, but just the vintage ones. Or am I mistaking them for something else? If you have any questions throughout the stream, by the way, even if it isn't related to this build, I'm happy to answer any questions. Oh, and on a completely separate note, stocks. How is the 3D printed spool holder going? Struggling to get them out of the bag. She's done. Posting out tomorrow once I get the box. Sweet, sweet. Drop me a message with how much I owe you for postage or whatever, or material cost. I'll have to put something towards it. For those that don't know, Stocks has made me a spool holder for my solder. I dragged it off of my desk a couple of times now, and it would be nice to have something that is dedicated to doing it. He posted it, happened to post it up on the MK UK Discord, and had to ask for him. He's been happy enough to print me off one too now. Alex says, no, Novelkeys Kale Speed Heavy switches in pale blue. Oh yeah, those ones. I think I've got one on my my switch tester, my big switch tester. These do not want to come apart. Just need one. Give me one spring. Huzzah. Oh, no, need one more. Okay, we've got springs in them. How did you find the have you actually got the pale blues, Alex, or have you not got them yet? Myself, I always like a heavier switch, and so the pale blues were always not as good as the box navies for me. Oh, you have them. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good news. I didn't want box switches because of the keycap stretching of keycaps. Yeah, I've heard that even some of the V2s where they've made changes, some of the V2 linears are still cracking stems, switch stems, keycap stems, which isn't good to hear. The box royals that I had recently that I sold to Pappy were completely fine. I put them on a GMK set and just to check, and they were completely fine. So what has everybody got planned for this weekend coming up? I know that I've got a build stream to do tomorrow, and going to be out and about on Sunday. But what's everybody else got planned? Work? You work over weekends? What do you do for work? More work. What do you do for a job, Jordan? Sales assistant part time. What do you sell? You work at CEX, getting them paying deals, eh? I got the board that's inside this one from CEX. Not a bad deal either. 60 quid for a 60 quid for the board, I think I paid. All I wanted was the PCB and the plate, but I've now got a bunch of hot trash switches and a case that I've demolished. Oh, and a keycap set that I gave away to someone. Do you ever find that there's weird and wonderful things being brought into CEX? Was the keycap set you gave me gave away? I think it might have been. If they're the Cooler Master ones, then yes. Sorry, I just can't remember who I gave it away to. I've been giving things away recently to try and clear the house out a little bit. Oh no, yeah, doing weird counting in my head. Glad that they've gone to a good home though, or somebody that's at least going to use them. Alright, final switch, and then we're going to take these stabs apart, give them a lube, and we'll finally start building this board up. Unfortunately, the one thing that I'm not going to be able to do this week is actually test the board properly, because it's not flashed with the right firmware, and he's sorting the firmware out himself. So if there is an issue, he'll bring it back to me, and we'll get it sorted. Alrighty, so I don't need that brush, I need this brush now. So I don't know if these have been clipped. They have been, but not very well, and they've also got quite a lot of gunky lube on them, so there's a piece of metal in there with it. So we're going to give these a clean. Some, didn't realise I was going to have to do this, so I'm just going to go grab some cotton wool buds and get cleaning this up. Sweet. I'm just going to get rid of this, whatever this gunky lube is that's in there. Right. And on the thing is, they've done it on the inside, but they've not bothered to do it on the outside of the housing, which is a bit weird. So we're going to give this a quick clean out, and seeing as there's an awful lot of lube in this one, going to need a bigger boat. Seeing as there's not too many stabs that are needed on this, it might take a second to do. So Jordan, what build did they end up going on to? And the second question is will I be seeing them again at the next meetup? JD45. I assume that's the JD Carp 45 one. Hopefully, yes. Well, a lot of people have voted so far. It's looking promising that we'll have a date sorted. Alrighty, let's get a bit of car super lube. Get these nice lubing up. Hopefully that doesn't drip like it did last time. There's some lube on the side of it, which is a bit worrying. So Jordan, I don't know where you live, but do you live in London or near London? I see that Stocks is likely to be coming along to the meetup, and there's a couple of other people that are thinking about it. I think Anarchy is thinking of coming along too. Be good to see the familiar faces. That a little bit. There we go. Don't live near London. I'm going to try and put up a form, hopefully, so that people can ride share and lift, well, not just ride share, but travel share and stuff like that. Hoping to be able to do something like that, which would be nice. I think I'm probably going to be able to go up on the train with Andy. He's going to be. I'm going to be living in the same town as him fairly shortly, or at least when he's home. Was the venue location changed from last stream? No. The venue location is still in the same place. Live in Midlands. Hopefully gonna try and come up to the Midlands at some point. I'm gonna go up and see Pex. Hopefully sometime or other. Try and go up and see him every now and again. I'm going on the train with DJ. Oh, nice. I take it that you're going to probably be going through Birmingham or something like that then. You might want to drop Pex on a note, or I can't think of his name now, Nick, as they'll be coming through that sort of area down. Just need to leave this open really. Hold the lube in my hand for now. Getting a bit bored of opening and closing it so much. Oh, even near that note. The one thing that I am now doing is I'm squeezing it with my other hand, so lube is coming out. Not ideal. Oh, why has the camera just turned itself off? For some reason it just decided to turn itself off. Still having camera issues. Gonna get it sorted out. I think I need what's really needed is a proper capture card or something like that to the camera. Together. Move to the left side. I might be on the same train as Kaio, as he is in Lincoln. Depends if the train stops at at both Newark and Grantham. Well, it's always nicer to travel with somebody and discuss keyboards whilst you're doing it. When we went to the Birmingham meetup, I gave Andy a lift to the meetup. That is going to drip. Wish this lube was being kind. Let's pour some out into the lid for a second. There we go. Much too much for what I need, but might just do the job for now. While I've got the lube out, I'm just going to lube the other ones up as well quickly. I get onto the end of the brush for some reason. Only need a little bit of lube. Swog McDog. Hey man, you sell any Razer keyboards? No, unfortunately I don't sell any Razer keyboards. These these boards are a little bit higher end than that. Bit more personalised. What sort of board do you have, Mr. Dog? Let's just build these up quickly. Try not to touch them too much because they've got car lube on them now, and it does get over your hands pretty badly. So Jordan, what are you going to be building these face switches into? I'm assuming that it's going to be the JD45, but... Oh no, sorry, not the JD45, something else other than the JD45 I should say. Right, those are lubed up, so I no longer need this brush either. All that. Wipe it on my leg. Righty. Let's just get the PCB back over here. So, what we're just going to do is we're going to tape mod these quickly. Not as of yet. That's a shame. Some snips. Wait, what sort of board are you thinking though? Gonna build a nice big TKL or something like that? It's about half, I think. Oh, thank you very much, Swog McDog, for the follow. Thank you very much. Sorry, the stream content isn't too lively at the minute. We'll be getting onto soldering and stuff like that in a minute. Lunatwick says, trying to fix a slipped stab. There, that's not a fun job, I'll tell you that now. I've had to do that a few times. And can become the bane of your existence very quickly. Okay, let's get these in here nice and tight. They are screw and stab, so I'll need a screwdriver. No, it's a horrible thing to have to try and pop back in. It never moves the way that you want it to move either. So this little mod that I've just done here, I'll show you guys in a bit more detail in a second, is a hockey tape mod to reduce the sound of the stabilizers themselves. And it is literally just what people use on, what is it, a hockey racket? A hockey club? Don't really know. The thing that you use in hockey. So the grip tape. So it's just the grip tape that they use in that, and it's a hockey stick. That's it. That is it. Stick. I feel like a moron now, but... but nonetheless, it's the grip tape that they use on a hockey stick, and it works perfectly as a sort of a silencer for stabs. It's made of that sort of like you've probably heard of the plaster mod, and it's pretty much the same material as that they use in plasters, pretty much. Just makes the sound a little bit more bearable. Come on, upside down. least you guys could see the thought process that was going on there for trying to work out what it was. So I'll show you on the spacebar because the spacebar is the easiest one to show you on. Okay, let's cut some little bits of tape. I'll show you what we do. Albeit I can't remember where these go now, so you may well just have to work out quickly. Location of the switches. So the idea is that you've got these two little pieces. And I'm going to neaten this one up in a minute. But if we just stick them here for now, what should be the idea behind this is if we put them somewhat in place, do they go? I believe that they should go there and there. The idea is that when this moves, let me just get a better focus for you. Oh, come on. There we go. So when this moves up and down, they're both making contact with the plastic, the plastic of the PCB. And the issue with that is that it makes a horrible clacking sort of sound. And so what we like to do is put something in place so that it doesn't make that horrible sound. Come on, go away, Mr. Fly. Swog McDog, no, I don't have a subscribe button just yet. You never know, one day soon. The stream is less about subscribing and everything like that. Hey, Jordan's fixed it. You get a knack to it though, Jordan. You do get a knack to it. If they're clipped, then they do not contact the PCB anymore. I have found the opposite thing. I've managed to smack him on the floor, bloody fly. I found the opposite thing. I do find that they still do make a little bit of contact, but then again, it might be because I'm just sort of smacking it down pretty hard. So I like to, nonetheless, I like to add them in. Makes me feel better. Okay, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to grab one of these switches and just put that in place. And I'm just going to go get the 6.25U space bar. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. This is the 6.25U space bar for this. So yeah, and that lines up nicely. So yeah, they are in the right space. So let's just screw them in. I've just dropped the switch on the floor. I'll have to go hunting for that. Horrible clacking noise. It happens to like that noise. Well, it's an acquired taste, I'll give you that. The sprit sounds oof. Oh, so are you the proud new owner of this? Sorry, I'm just trying to get the switch from underneath it. The proud new owner of this Sprit 60 or whatever it is. Okay, let's put the space bar just there. So what we're going to do now is, now that that's all sorted, it looks like whoever had this before, they'd already clipped the stabilizers. What I'm just going to do is, without pulling my headphones out like I did last time, we're just going to grab this box. So, in this box, with the piece behind my side, is a very nice plate and case. This thing is pretty hefty. So let's put that down there. Put the PCB back over. So this is the plate and case that the guy's gone for. So I'm just going to lift the plate out. So this is the PVD brass plate that he's given to be able to do this build. And it's pretty damn thick. I mean, there's very little flex to it, and I mean, normally with a plate of this sort of type, coming from Taobao and everything like that, it's normally pretty cheap and crappy. So he's done a good job on getting a nice case here. So and then this is the wood case for it. So let's just put that there. So this is the wood case for it. So I mean, it's a really nice wood. I mean, it doesn't really smell of wood as such. I don't know, but it's wood. It feels like wood, looks like wood, but I don't know. And it comes with this little foam insert, which is kind of interesting. You can see there's a small few imperfections here, and there's a little notch off of there, but realistically this is the internals of the case, and the externals of the case are really nice. So let's put this little it's like a velvety insert. It doesn't fit particularly well though. That's the only problem. It fits a bit funny, but I guess when you squish it down it'll be alright. Didn't mean to knock that there. So what are the people saying? Sprit sounds oof. Yeah, proud is a little off the mark. Sprit sounds oof because I built it. Ooh, Stocks is building it. And Stocks says that he's hit 84 words per minute. That's not bad going. That is not bad going. I'm up to 68 now that I've relearned how to type. It was a hard process, but once we got there, we got there. So I'm going to slot a couple of these switches in, and then we'll solder it down so that the plate and everything can't make a runner. This is a really nice plate, really clean. I'm going to give it a good wipe afterwards as well, so that I haven't got any, there's no marks on it or anything like that. So one thing that I will have to do in a minute as well is I will just check up with what the client wanted for layout. I do believe that he wants one use here. Oh, and the camera has yet again decided to stop. Oh. Give it a second. There we go. Promise I will sort this out. I don't know if it's overheating or something like that, but I may just well get a second webcam and be done with it. I can't be bothered with the hassle. But for now, seeing as I've just bought some new sound, some music stuff, some headphone equipment, I won't be buying a new webcam for this month at the very least. Don't want to drag my watch across the table too much. So I can see where I've previously had it soldered, so I'm just going to match up with where he had it soldered previously, because I'm sure that's the old layout that he's going to want. Oh, thanks, Alex. Have a good time at the community centre. Let's just bring him up here. I do need to turn the soldering iron down when I turn it on, actually. Otherwise, it'll be a little too warm. One down in this bottom corner as well. Change the coming into one small snag. Got some stuff on the end of it as well. That's good. I managed to fill that one up with solder somehow. So just in the middle solder pad there, there's a little bit of solder in there, so I'm going to have to clear that out before I can put a switch in there. So what I'll do for now is I'll get this soldering iron turned on, get some of these switches soldered down nicely. So let's just flicker on and so 300 degrees, that should be good enough for this. And I'm going to need this bad boy here. And get my awkward solder until the the solder spool turns up. Oh, Windows key by accident there. I'll just turn this up a little bit. It's not flying as quickly as I'd like it to. It's at 320 degrees. There we go, the flow rate's a bit better now. Excuse me, Mr. Fly. Bugger off. No flies in this room all day up until whenever I decide to do a stream for some reason. See him in my peripheral vision. Bastard. So we've been live for an hour and nearly an hour and a quarter now. So I didn't expect this build to take very long this evening because I have got another stream tomorrow. So I didn't want to be taking millions of hours over building this board. Plus the fact that it is a nice little 60% and does slot together pretty quick and easy, to be fair. Let me just find the Discord messages from... he's just sent the thing over now. So so he's going 1.25 1.25 1.25 6.25 1111. Albeit, I'm not sure that is going to work with this plate. It won't work with this plate. It was... I'll have to send him a message. It's not going to work with this plate. I can do everything else except for that. Oh, no shit, no, he sent that over and he's... That's the... Okay, that makes more sense. No, no, that still doesn't work. What he's wanting is 5 1Us across the bottom here. And obviously there's only 4 cutouts, so that's not going to work. So I'll send him a message, because it may well have to be 1U, 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 like 1.75, something like that. It'll need to be a funny size. 60% has got 4 cutouts. Corner. I'll send him a note, but what we might well be able to do is we might be able to sort this out 1.25, 1U, 1U, 1U or something like that. It might need to be something like that rather than what it is currently, or what he's got vision for it currently. But I'll solder the rest of these in for now, seeing as these can go in. That's something. Okay, give me 5 seconds. Okay. I don't know if he's watching the stream or not, but he's just sorting it out now. It's a bit of a pain, unfortunately, but if we get these others soldered in for now, we can then just I know that he wants an arrow cluster in the bottom right hand corner, so that is the main thing. It's kind of interesting. Might all need to move along a little bit. Might have put this bottom left-hand corner switch in the wrong place. It's not too much of an issue. You can just desolder that quickly and move it across a little. What we'll do is we'll pop all of the switches in, get the keycap set, and put the keycap set on to get an idea of where the caps are going to, how it's going to sit, how it's all going to lay out, and then Taro can make a decision on how he wants it laid out with this beautiful plate. adding these switches back into the overall layout. Sideways. So I've also got a little bit of solder in one of these here on the other side. So what I'll just do, I've got the two soldering irons over there. Right, sorry, I'm watching you on the stream on my phone. Can you show me the plate? Big of a boo-boo. Thinking after the space, just one use. So he wants to have a look at the plate. So you can see here. Pressing the wrong thing. You can see here what you'd want to do is you'd want to go 1U, 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 and then you need something to go in here. I'm assuming that it would be a 1.25U, but we can have a little play around with it here in a minute just to make sure that it sits right. Albeit this bottom corner one, there is quite a large gap between them, and that's possibly the only thing that might make it look a bit ugly here, but we'll give it a try and see how we can lay it out at the very least. That's what I was going to do. I'm just going to add a little bit of solder to the well of this this one here to be able to get the solder back out. There we go. Just move the wooden case out of the way a second, a little. That's nice and clean, and it was on the opposite side as well. Was it on the opposite side? Oh yes, no, it's this one here. Can't get it to hold still. Nice and clean now. Okay. I'm not too sure about this now. I managed to get a little bit of solder into the well, next to it. Let's get that back out. So I don't know if you can see there that you've got the arrows, but it's got a massive gap right here because of the plate, which is a real ball ache, which doesn't look ideal if I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you can see it here. You've got, it's just a bit of an awkwardly staggered. Let me get the caps and I can probably show you a little bit better. Okay, so we've got the caps here. So if we put this in some sort of fashion of how we'd want it to look. Go away, Mr. Fly. So you can see what I was saying about this. It makes it look really off, and unfortunately the plate is not going to allow it to be like that at all with the arrows. Which is a real pain in the arse, to be honest. But if Taro is watching, Taro's watching at the moment. Obviously, you have. Sorry, got a little fly getting in the way. You've got two options. Really, what I would say is you can go for a standard layout, so just a standard bottom row of 1.25 views, for 1.25 views, and I can get a stab, an extra stab wire. I've got some extra ones in the thing. I can put one in here, and then you can just have a 2.25 view stab there. What does he say? I might have to ditch the plate. He does get what I mean. Unless I love the arrow cluster over directly next to the space. If you were to do that, you would come into the biggest issue here is this key here. It can be moved over, but there's still a little bit of metal in between, so it would be like a weird stagger, if that makes sense. So it'd be 1U, 1U, and then it'd be like a 1.25U, so there would be a gap in between this. I'll see if I can pull them up and I'll show you. I get what you're saying here. Oh, they're very tight on the gaps. See, the biggest problem that you're going to have every single time is this one here. This gap, which is a real pain in the arse. You're always going to have that gap there. Even then, I'm not sure you can go for all arrows in a line. Let's have a look. Jesus, well, that's tight. It's not going to go. That one's going to be dedicated to that one then. It's very tight for some reason. Unfortunately, if I put them all in a line, you're still going to always have this one here off on its own. I can move this one across next to it, but you're always going to have this one off on its own because of the plate design. So, it's up to you what you want to do. I mean, we can scrap the plate and we can have the build. So, sorry guys, for the rest of the stream, I'm talking to Taro, the owner of the build at the moment. What we can do is we can, the options that we've got for the build at the moment is we can scrap the build. I can desolder them back out. Yeah, so you'll see it's pretty horribly obvious. Obviously, this key can be moved along to here so that it butts up right against this one, but then you're going to have a big gap here as well between this key, and that's as far over as this one can move as well. I think this plate was wholly designed to be a standard sort of layout, something that I just overlooked, unfortunately. So he's asked that if I can scrap that and put it back on the plate that it came with, and so the plate that it came with is this one, and because it's got the loads of cutouts on it, it means that it will work. Okay, so he's said to plate swap this. So what I'll have to do is, unfortunately, I will stop the stream because the desoldering process does take an age. Unless let me give it a quick try. I'll just pop these ones out and we'll just try desoldering a couple of the switches. Because I've soldered a couple of the switches down just so that it holds a bit better. What we'll do is, because I've used my my stuff, it does desolder quite well. So let's just, if we can get this desoldered quickly, then I can. Oh no, geez no, 420. Okay, let's get it up to 350 degrees centigrade. Alright, let's move these caps out of the way as well. If we can desolder these fairly easy, they were a pain in the ass to desolder because of how small the pin cutouts are, the pinholes are. So let's see if we can desolder this fairly easily, and if we can, one's okay. If we can get this desoldered fairly easily, I'll desolder it. Pop all the switches up and out. Okay, how is that? If this comes out, that came out with a lot greater ease, to be fair. Just make sure it does pop out. There's this switch here in the middle. No, it doesn't want to move. So just put a bit of solder back into there. My main concern that this was, it was just a pain in the ass to desolder, and I don't want to go through the whole process of desoldering again on stream. So if I can get these few that I've just quickly soldered in desoldered, then I should be able to plate swap and go from there really. Good thing that I only soldered in a couple of them. Coming out with great ease, unfortunately. Ah, shit. Let's just give this another try. That's a bit better that time. So the process that I'm just doing here is just adding a little bit of solder to it so that I can get it to suction up the little bit of solder that is deciding not to move. This one looks free now. Yes, that one is free. Okay. So I only realistically soldered only a few in. There's one on the top row here, these two, one in this top corner, which is a real pain in the arse of one. Okay, let's get it desoldered. I'll do it on stream. Shouldn't take too long to do though. Didn't go so well. Music stopped. Let's get some music back on. Alright, for my sanity, I'm going to take all of these switches out that aren't soldered in. More for my sanity rather than anything else, so that I know where I am and how many I've got left to do. Okay, we'll keep these there separate so that when it comes time to actually pop them into the right plate, it won't take very long. No, you're not soldered in. So all I'm just doing is just popping each of these out of the beautiful plate. Oh, those two are soldered. 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 Okay. Right, you're going to get an extra long stream tonight. You get to watch me desolder these and swap plates and resolder. It shouldn't take too long though. It should only add a half hour to the actual build, so it's not a big issue. If I'd soldered the whole board together and then realised it, then that'd be a different thing entirely. There we go. Don't even know what was holding on to it there. Okay. Get rid of this one first. That's nearly done. Because the pads are so small on this, unfortunately, it does mean that the desoldering pump that I've got can't sometimes quite do the good enough suction on it. I haven't got any solder wick, notches for next time. There we go. Well, shit. That's not good. So, the inside of my soldering pump has done it again. I wonder if it still works though. No, it still works. The little inside piece of my desoldering iron has come out. Exactly what happened earlier. To my other desoldering pump. Okay, only got a few switches. Oh, these aren't even soldered in, aren't they? Sweet. Not able to hold this down too easily. That's the problem with this. Oh, stream has stopped. Okay. I need to take my desoldering pump apart a little bit. See if I can repair this. Oh, it's only come off of a little plastic spudgery bit. That's fine then. Don't get too much stuff over your board. There we go. The desoldering iron was, desoldering pump was getting a little bit full. Oops, I put it on straight. There we go. It's not the same straight, that's all. So why was this one wanting to come out then? Oh, just didn't tie, that was all. There we go. The dog is outside. Probably not very happy with me making noise in here. Still caught on one side a little. Still doesn't want to move. One side, not the other. Okay, so we're down to the final 4 switches. One of these I'm going to be enjoying less than the others. Said top right hand corner one. Top right hand corner switch is not a nice switch to desolder. Excuse me. It's not from the solder fumes, I'll tell you that much. That cough. I've been huffing solder all day today pretty much. Alright, is this going to come out? Of course it's not. Oh, that's probably why. Loads of solder still attached to this one. There we go. Oh no, still doesn't want to move. Oh, is it because one of the legs isn't really tight? There we go, that's why. Alright, nearly there on desoldering this now. And then once this is desoldered, we'll plate swap it. I'm intending on putting all of the keycaps onto it so that it looks in the right layout and everything. And then I'll solder it in place from there. I think that's going to be the best option for this. Just to make sure there isn't any mistakes or issues. Screw it, we're going to go for this top one. Hope you guys are enjoying the elevator music jazz. Alright, and so for this final one, I'm pretty sure one side of the switch is... Oh no. I'm going to desolder one side of the switch and then I'm going to do something. No, it is desoldered. Yeah. One side of the switch is desoldered, the other side isn't, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to hold it up like this and I'm just going to pull the plate away from the one side that isn't desoldered. Yeah. Needs some more solder in there, in that spot. This is what I did to get this switch desoldered, because the pad is like almost like a half pad. There we go. It's like a half pad. It's a horrible little one. Yeah, that's fine. So that's free. Okay. Let's put that over there. Okay, so the old plate is going back in, but this does not want it. Oh. Oh, that's right, I'm just gonna... So I just needed to clear the solder back out of that spot, so the switch will go home. Okay, so let's just build this up quickly and get the layout sorted nicely. Solder in the way of that one. Albeit these the switches that are on this, that are now in here, are feeling very, very nice compared to how they were feeling. So these have been lubed with Tribosys 106. I've not touched the tactile bump at all with the lube, so that it keeps that that nice tactility. But I have lubed the rails so that it's smoother. So it's got a nice glide. And I have also re-lubed the stabs as well. to ding Taro again in a minute, unless he's watching. If he's watching, just if Taro, if you're watching, you just send me a message, just so I know that you're there, because I'm going to be able to get to the bit where we sort out the arrow cluster in a second. So we're not that far off of that. I believe that he's just dinged me. Okay, that's cool. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this back together how it was before, pretty much. And with the, obviously the new lubed switches in there, which should be an improvement either way. We'll just make sure that the arrow cluster is there nicely. For these modifications, for the switch modifications, we would have had to have desoldered the switches either way, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. It's not a horrible thing, because this plate doesn't support switch top opening, unfortunately. I'm pretty happy with how the switches are feeling, if I'm honest. They are feeling pretty nice. So this must be the up arrow. So let's put the up arrow in there. The right arrow. Not that far over. More further over. It's going to be right at the end. There we go. The down arrow. Oh no, the left arrow. Putting them in funny orders. Hi Spawny Drew, how are you doing? When did I start using good switches? Well, this isn't my board, unfortunately. Oh, well, put them. gonna get some fly killer in a minute. Bloody flies back. Okay. So they're the one use. So I can go back where it came from. I'm not sure if it is the DZ60. If I'm entirely honest, Taro, who is sending me Discord messages, he'll be able to confirm. It doesn't have anything written on there about what one it is, so I'm unsure myself. Okay, that's looking good. So he's got the one use. The only thing that I'm a bit concerned about is the layout of this in the bottom left hand corner, if that's right. So we're going to get some caps quickly, and we're just going to put all of the caps on, basically. Where do I put the other one? U caps. So let's just turn this off for a second. I don't want keycaps anywhere near soldering irons. Because this doesn't look like it matches up to me in this corner, but I may just be being thick. That's all. There should be no change to normal. Hi Danny J, how you doing? Tara has messaged back. It's the 60% from KBDFans, so I'm assuming it is the DZ, because I think that's the one that they sell. I think. Oh, one of the keycaps is making a runner. I've got to put the UK layout stuff on there, haven't I? Grab the keycap in a second. Just don't want to do it whilst I've got stuff on my lap. What do you mean, ooh, for ISO? ISO's excellent. It's the best layout, superior layout. How you doing there, DJ? You having a good Friday so far? Not really. Got super bad cough, hoping it clears up for the trip to London next week. Oh man, that sucks. As the doctor probably has told you already, drink lots of water, it'll make you feel much better. Hate having colds, I really do. I didn't use that, did I? Yeah, I'm just drinking water and keeping. I'll read that in a second. I'll be trying to get this one in. He says, "Yeah, I'm just drinking a lot of water and keeping warm for now." Yeah, best option. Don't want to get even more sick. This bloody little fly, go away! Ping. Go away. Sorry, I've had this little fly on my desk and he keeps running around and yeah, little bugger. Okay. That looks like 1.25U controls. That looks good to me. Yeah, that fly keeps coming back, DJ, and it's only ever when I'm doing a stream. It's really weird. I never have any flies like floating around here normally. As soon as the stream comes on, bam, they're here. We'll just go for these two for now. Leave him to choose whichever one he wants. Put a little one there as well. So my only concern is this corner one here, whether it's going to have to be a 1U shift key or not. Let's just do this bottom row here. And we'll see if it needs to be a 1U or 1.25U shift key. It's doing the Lord's work. Trying to dissuade me. I'd leave if you switch to ortho. I'll be honest with you, not a lot of chance of me switching to ortho. Sorry, the camera's gone again. Doesn't feel that warm, so it's not. There was a report saying that it could be just getting warm, and that's the reason why. Yeah, I can't get on with ortho. To be honest with you, I can barely type normally, so moving to ortho would be a horrible, horrible idea at this point in time. I think I might have just fucked that up there. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I have. I'm putting the. I forgot one key there. And this is going to be a pain in the ass because it's going to pull the switch up. But oh no, no. Let's move this a long one. So that leaves us with 5, which is right. So Taro, if you're there, we're going to have to go for a 1U left shift if you want this layout. I thought that was going to happen for one of them. They're very tight on these. So let me know if you're happy with that. I'm going to put it to, I'll put the keycaps on in that sort of manner. But let me know if it's not what you want. But realistically, I'm not exactly sure what else we could actually do in this situation, because these are all just 1Us here. I will go get a piece of shelf liner or something like that in a minute when we start to put this together. Where's the backslash key? There it is. What does he say? If you can, make it 1.25 for... but I've accepted that. So you'll see the layout that has to go here. So this would be your right 1U right shift, if that makes sense. Sorry, get the focus in right. So you can see if you want an ISO layout, it has to be a 1U left shift to be able to fit the backslash in properly. Otherwise, you're going to have this weird sort of off gap. But let me know. Put these on for the meantime. You'd have like a 0.25 gap or otherwise. Okay, so Taro is coming on Twitch now. You alright, Pexy? How you doing, mate? You having a good Friday? Have you finished working as of yet? Tara says, hi all, I'm the guy that's causing loads of issues tonight. No, he's not causing any issues tonight. Yeah, it's something that I should have checked well in advance of actually doing this. It's as much my fault as it is your fault. I'm going to swap this one out. Swap this cap out at the very least. Yeah, I feel a bit stupid not checking it myself as well there, mate. So the other, well, no, there isn't really another option. The 1U would work. 1Us would work best there. So I'm just swapping it for the right one. Yeah, Pex is a really nice little board. This I've got this keycap set myself as well, and it is a really excellent little board. I'm liking the functionality pretty much. So from what I understand, this is DZ60. So I'll just show you this. This is a DZ60 from KBDFans. Let's just get some proper focus. Let's bring it a bit closer. Get that. Got to get that thumbnail hype, you know. Let's move that across a little bit. There we go. So we'll have that as the thumbnail, or I'll put it in the wood case and then have that as the thumbnail. But so, how do you find that, Tara? It's the V3. Oh, very nice, very nice. So yeah, this is the DZ60, and in this we've got 78 gram Aliaz, and I mean they're really nice. I've given them a little bit of a lube. They're very smooth now. They were a little scratchy when I got them the other day from Taro, but they're feeling much nicer now. So, so from what I understand, the keycaps are XDA round 1, or maybe even round 2. I don't know which one you got there, Taro, but I know that the ones that I've got are round 1, and I assume that you got the same ones that I did. And they're just beautiful die sub set. In the sort of old Apple style. Really nice layout. Really happy with my caps. The DSLR, that's my 5D Mark IV, and it's got a 50mm 1.2 on it. Is what I'm streaming through. Albeit I seem to have some problems with it every now and again. It does seem to lock up and I have to reset it and stuff. Yeah, it's nice. The R1s are really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. And solder it up. I'm going to try and get it so that no, it won't quite fit in there. I'm going to get some shelf liner and I'll put some shelf liner down so that I don't scratch the caps at all. But Taro, are you happy with that layout, mate? The last thing that I want to do is start to solder it up, and then for you not actually to like the layout. So I'll just show you it one more time. Make sure you're happy with the layout. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, I'm going to get soldering on this. I'm going to leave the caps on because they are on very tight. And realistically, the actual soldering process of this won't take that long. So let's just move some stuff out of the way. So Pexon says, enjoying the Hacko, bro? Yes, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I would not have been able to do it with the previous soldering iron at all. I don't think all of the soldering and desoldering, well, especially the fact that it blew up on me. So got a bit of shelf liner here. I built a DZ60 with that exact layout today as well. Oh, nice. So obviously the more refined layout. So I've got to just slice a little bit of shelf liner off. It's just the lovely sound of me cutting through shelf liner. I'm not trying to slice my legs. So Pexon says, and the Loctite solder is dope. Yes, it is. It is lovely. I recommended it to Stocks recently, and I think he likes it as well. But I've got another 6 rolls of this stuff. I managed to buy some off of an eBay store and get it pretty damn cheap. So let's just pump that back on. Yeah, it smells. Stock says smells great. Yeah, I mean I've smelt this all afternoon. Get a little bit high off the old smell. I get through a 500 gram roll of it a month. God damn, 500 gram roll. I mean, I've been going through. How many grams is this? Does it say? Net weight 110 grams. So I've been going through this for the last like 6 months or so. What else does he say? Can't wait to kiss you at the next meetup, eh, Pappy Stocks. Cool. We've got a bit of man love in the chat. Oh, the Lunar Twix, Jordan. Great choice of solder. It really is. What does he say? That cable looks crap on the blue board. Yeah, it's one that you made. No, it's I just use it as my sort of hot swappable cable. I more have it there for ease than anything else. Yeah, so the cable goes into one of your kind of the mod city ones or whatever they are, new mod style ones, new mod style connectors, and goes from there. Really nice. I should really get some different coloured ends so that I can match my boards a bit better, but to be fair, most of my boards are grey or black. This one just happens to be against the normal mould and be blue. I fixed my... Oh, hey, Jordan, you fixed your board. Paxton says new headphones nice too. Yeah, they are really nice. They've got a really good sound to them. I was listening to some master quality stuff on Tidal last night, and they sound excellent. But I've got a what was it? I've got a shit shit as in SCHIIT. I've got the Modi and the Magnus. Modi and the Magni? Modi and the Magnus might be. I've got one of those coming, and I'm hoping that they're going to turn up tomorrow for a new DAC and a new amp. So I'm looking forward to getting that. So I watched the VOD of Top Clack, and the one thing that stood out for me that I'm really hyped for is that Rama is doing the Rama 80 or the U80 or whatever it is. I'm really looking forward to that now. I want a Rama TKL. So I'm going to be putting money aside to be able to buy one of those later in the year. I'm not sure what switches I'm going to put into it because I've got the FR87 and I'm going to put Xylence into that. But that's my next big thing, and I'll probably put the Cat Alpha that I've got coming onto that. So it's going to look dope. I'm excited. I saw the renders that Rama did ages ago, and they just look incredible with TKL that he could make, or he could design, I should say. Are any of you guys going to be jumping on to the next Rama group buy? I believe that I believe that he's doing that. The Rama, is it the M60 or the 60% that he's doing at the moment? The one that comes with the ability to have a hot swap board. Looks dope in my opinion. Okay, that's looking good. Looking good so far. So what is everybody eating for dinner tonight, or have you already eaten? I've got a curry over in the other house at the moment that I'm going to be eating after this. I thought it would be a little bit insensitive to Tara to be able to eat the curry whilst I solder his board together. So Tara says, need my lasagna to hurry up cooking. Now craving a curry. Sorry, dude. Sorry. Albeit, around where I live, you came over the other day, have one of the best curry restaurants in the country, in my opinion. The guy that owns or ran the curry club, Britain's Curry Club, is a guy called Pat Chapman. And he lives in Hazelmere, and his local is an excellent curry restaurant. Yeah, go get a curry, man. Just sack off the lasagna. I mean, those things can be reheated pretty easy. Go get a curry. I can imagine in the Pexon household, he's probably had curry tonight. It's a Friday night. But can't be 100% certain sometimes. Normally when I talk to him on a Friday night, he's had a curry. He's had a curry with Mother Pexon. You had pasta. Oh, what is everybody doing? Why is it Italian night on a Friday night? Friday night is about either pizza, you know, Papa J's, Dominic's, Pizza the Hut. You know what I mean? It's either that or curry. Mate, when you come down, we're going to go for a curry. At what would be our new local. It's meant to be an excellent one. What are you doing tomorrow night then, dude? Going to go see some more Polish metal? Yep. This chat has not done any good for my hunger levels. Sorry. I'm getting hungry, so the thought of food is starting to come up for me now as well. But we're nearly done now. It's getting very close to being finished. It's soldered now. Pexon says that sushi place was sick when we were down last. Yeah, the sushi place was sick. I want to go to that sushi place again. Becca's less of a fan of sushi, unfortunately. But we haven't even been to the other sushi place that's in Farnham, and that sushi restaurant is excellent. It's the one that we tried to order from last time, and they wouldn't even do delivery, like a take-out meal or anything. They were that full up in there. That one's, in all honesty, that one's slightly better than the one in Guildford. Not by a lot, but only a little. Going out for a few beers with some friends. Oh, nice. Hitting up the Partridge, is it? If you want decent sushi, get up to town. Eat Tokyo in London is one of the best in the country for your money. Finding decent sushi in the country is hard. Yes. Well, if you want decent sushi, Taro, when you collect the boards, I don't know if they're open on Sunday, albeit. There's a place in Farnham that is. It's only a small little restaurant. But the sushi that they do there is really excellent. I've had the katsu curry from there once before as well, and the katsu curry was excellent. But I've had ribeye steak nigiri once before, and that was just to die for. It was just beautiful. But the only other place is it was like Yo. No, it's not a Yo Sushi, but it's the Sushi Nara or whatever it is. That big sort of chain one, and there's one of those in Guildford, and it's excellent food every time. Okay, that looks all good to me, to be fair. Haven't missed any. I'm going to need to go over it and clean it, but that's looking like it's all done to me, so even the fly's trying to get involved again. So let's snap that off. Wasabi. Oh, sorry. Skipping past some stuff there. In my opinion, Yo is overpriced and average. Yeah, the Yo sushi. There's a Yo sushi in Guildford. I've been there once before, and it's not that. I mean, it's okay. It's not too bad. But the one in Farnham is way, way better, and the one at the top of Guildford is really nice as well. Really nice food. So one thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull some of the caps off there to be able to screw this down properly. I don't need just that. I need keycap. Wasabi you see in the station is okay, decently priced and average, but I'm a bit of a snob being half Japanese. Yeah, I can fully understand your reasoning there. This cheap English rubbish. No, the place in Farnham is really nice. They we tried to go there when we had a group of people, when I had a group of people over last, and they wouldn't allow us to eat in the restaurant, and they wouldn't also allow us to do a takeaway because they were that full. And I think that they didn't want to reduce the sort of the quality of the meal any further by obviously having a bunch of guys come in. We were trying to book a table for like 8. But where is it? It's like there. Let's start off anyway. Okay, so bottom row. Okay. Just put that there for a second. Yeah, it's all coming together very quickly now. Well, that fits in very snugly. Now, one of my most hated bits of any build, any keyboard build, because these aren't proper magnetic screws, it means that I'm going to end up dropping one, and it's not going to go where I want it to go. So let's just... be kind. There we go. Just tighten that down a little. Space. Put it across a little. "15 attempts it took to get 3 screws into one build. I stopped at 3 because it was about to throw it into the sea. Just frisbee it. Frisbee it into the sea." You're not far from like Loch Lomond and stuff like that, are you? Well, actually, I guess you probably are. Because you're on the opposite side of Glasgow. I'm thinking Glasgow's not that far from Loch Lomond. Frisbee it into the sea. Oh, that screw did an awful lot of good. The screw head is the screw head is slightly too small, so it just didn't catch on anything and just went straight through the hole on the PCB. So that one's useless. Lift this up when we do this one. I'm less than 10 minutes walk to the sea. Oh no. Where is it? Oh, no, that's not going to work going like that. Unfortunately, I can't frisbee this into the sea stocks. Bollocks to it. Sorry for my language there, guys. I've dropped one of the screws into the hole and I can't get the bloody thing out now. Come on, move. Yep, that way. Okay, no, that way a little, up a little, down. I hate this. Alright, you're coming out. Okay, that's somewhat in there. Hey. That's looking pretty good. How has the screw gotten upside down? This is the most frustrating part of any build, I'll tell you this now. It's getting these little tiny screws to sit in place and not go upside down. Or get trapped in between the PCB and the plate till the end of time. Well, this one is trapped in between the PCB and the plate for the end of time. I'm trying to find out where the screw's gone. I'm just gonna have to undo the screws and try and pour it out. Yeah, that's what this thing is like at the moment. The only frustrating bit here is that the screws are not magnetic. That's the main issue. That just falls straight through. I don't think it'll even film that bottom one. It'll be a real pain in the ass if it doesn't fit. Oh, you're gonna fall through. You're going to fall through. This bloody thing. Oh, deep breaths, deep breaths. They just needed to add magnetic screws. That's all that it needed. Ha gotcha, you little bastard. Sorry, I shouldn't start swearing at the boards, to be honest with you. They've done nothing wrong. Yet. You little bastard. Go in. I have no idea how the screw manages to end up upside down. You throw it in upside down, it lands upside down. You put it in the normal way, it turns itself round somehow. Come on. Whew. Hey, it's in. Oh, camera's just turned itself off. We should be up into the final stretch of this anyway now, so should be finished. As soon as this decides that it's going to start playing ball. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay, so there's only 4 screws in this one tower because these 2 outer edge ones, they don't fit into them. They just sort of fall through the gap. So it's the 4 middle screws that are going to give you strength, give it strength anyway. So I mean, there's very little flex to it. And I don't want to tighten it down like super duper hard. Otherwise you can just end up like breaking through the PCB. So there we go. One thing that you could always look to do is buy some buy some magnetic screws. You can buy them off of eBay for a couple of quid. Might be something you might well want to do further down the line. Just get some magnetic screws and get some wider head ones and put them in there. But realistically, it's not going to make a ton of difference anyway. Okie dokie, so this is the board. Show it off to you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a quick shot so that I've got something for the thing. There you go. So that's the board. Beautiful board. So what we'll do is I'll stop the music and I'll do a quick little typing test to show you what it sounds like. So let's just mute that. Okay, so this is going to be on top of this, so it's going to quieten it a little bit, but so yeah, overall I'm really happy with that. That sounds excellent and it looks excellent as well. So give you a quick little tour around the board. So a quick little tour around the case. So it's got a nice little USB cutout in the wood there. It's got a really nice feel. It's got some nice little rubber feet on the underside. So the little cutout that's there isn't used on this PCB, but normally it would be for dip switches and the like. But it's got a couple of rubber feet on the underside of it, so really nice overall. But spacebar sounds excellent, and almost no rattle to it. There's a little on the upstroke, so you could get rid of that by putting a little bit of tape on the actual or cotton wool, I think people sometimes use in the slider, in the stab sliders. But realistically, I don't think that's too much of a big issue. I mean, so I wouldn't be too bothered about that. It sounds pretty good to me. So no, but that's excellent. So guys, that's gonna conclude the stream. I'm gonna go grab some food. If you have liked the stream, please make sure to give it a follow. I don't know if Tara, if you've followed the stream or not, but please do hit the follow button, as we'll have another stream tomorrow at 6 PM GMT. And so if you've liked this, thank you very much, Tara. If you've liked this build, we'll have another one. It's going to be a KBD 75 with box pale blues. He's got some caps over there as well. So I'm going to be building that on stream tomorrow, which will be a really nice one. Cheers, Pex. Thank you very much. And yes, we're League of Legends players, Tara. So my hands have touched the board now. I bet you're a Dota player, aren't you? So you've had a filthy League of Legends player touch your board. Oh, you play League as well? Oh, nice. We're gonna have to have a game when you get your boards back. You haven't got any at the moment, so when you get your boards back, drop me a line and we'll have to play some. But I hope you guys have all enjoyed the stream this evening. Cheers, Pexy, for the follow. But I hope you've all enjoyed the stream nonetheless. It's been quite a lot of fun building it, albeit desoldering it and resoldering it is a pain. But hi, Be Copping. Thank you very much for the follow. But yep, 6 PM GMT we'll be building that board. So please come on over, relax. I'll try and find another jazz playlist that we can have a listen to. So, but time for food. So thank you all, and see you tomorrow. Bye.